Hey there, folks. Just getting on the chat here. I was just trying out this like Leslie simulator. Just that's just in Logic. Just to kind of, I don't know, just try something new, right? That's why not, just give it a go. How you folks doing? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the Tuesday edition, and I'm just I was just having a little play. This is also my first playing of today as well. So it's kind of nice to just do this just right off the bat. But I was just having a go over great Henry Mancini tune, Days of Wine and Roses. Right? It is Henry Mancini, right? Yeah, it is. That's right. So just having a really cool play over that and just trying out, I don't know, just a different kind of effect on the bass, which was kind of interesting. Kind of liked it, you know. It definitely inspires different ways of approaching certain lines. So I might mess around with it a little more a little later. But let's see what's going on here in the chat. Hermosa 918, how you doing? How would you approach learning musical theory for a beginner? What would be a best place to start? Here, I mean, learning scales, arpeggios. What would you recommend to practice? Yeah, I mean, look. First of all, let me just preface this by saying I do have a beginner course, a beginner music theory course for bass players, and it's just about the stuff that you need to know. You can check that out in the description box down below. But in terms of like the best place to start, yeah, really is you want to understand, yes, scales. So the intervals, I would say, would be a good place to start. And so just remember, when you play a C major scale, obviously, I'm kind of going through the different octaves, but if we're just playing, right, we've got essentially 8 notes there, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So getting familiar with, okay, what is in this case, we're playing C major scale, what is a major third, right? So that means, yeah, I'm going to literally go up to the 3rd note of the scale. But also the important thing is like, okay, that's a major third in the key of C major. But just understand, especially on the bass, we can look at this as a shape as well. So we can play this in any key, and that interval, is always going to be a major third. Right? Because you're playing the same shape, you're just transposing it to a different key, right? Another interval that is really important as a bassist is obviously a 5th. 1-5, right? So understanding the intervals and the important intervals are very part of the building blocks of what you would be playing as a bass player, And so then you want to do the same thing, and again, you want to get familiar with the intervals, understanding, okay, and use your ear. So this is the important thing too. So yes, you're looking and understanding, okay, where my fingers go to play these different intervals. So whether it's a 2nd or a 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. You also want to understand what it sounds like in relation to the tonic, number 1 that you're playing. It's really important to know what these sound like as well. You want to be able to sing it as well. So if someone was to say to me, sing a major 7th above the note that you're playing right there. Ooh, sing a major 6th. Ooh, 5th. Ooh, you want to be able to do it because you want to know what it sounds like. So this is part of relating what you're playing and letting your ear also make the connection as well. This is a very important part of the ear training aspect of it, right? Once you understand, that is just for like a C major scale. And if we're going off of essentially the first mode of the major scale, right, which is just going to be called C Ionian, right, we have the different modes in the major scale that we need to get familiar with as well. And this just takes a bit of time of just understanding the different types of modes. So C Ionian, right? I'm in the key of C major right here, but I'll play it what's called diatonically, meaning I'm diatonic to the key that I'm playing in, C major. So obviously C Ionian. Next one, the next mode, D Dorian, right? E Phrygian, F Lydian, G Mixolydian, right? A Aeolian, and then we have B Locrian. And what it was is, and a good way to look at the modes, all right, because you're probably thinking, oh man, there's like so many notes that I gotta like remember and all that. Okay, so, and obviously, if you know this, that's wonderful. But for those of you who don't, this is for you, all right. So, going back to the C major scale that I just played, right? Right. These are my two. Essentially the starting and end notes, right? Now what I'm doing is I'm taking all these notes that I just played, and now what I'm doing is I'm just shifting it over, all right? Now what that means is that, okay, now the second note in my C major scale, which is going to be a D, all right? Now that becomes the starting point and also the end point because I'm going up to its octave, right? So that means I'm going to be playing all these notes that I played in C major in the same order, except I'm now going to be starting on my second note, which is a D, right? That also means that the type of fingering pattern is going to be a little different too, because obviously we're playing in a different spot on the fingerboard, right? There's many different ways to actually play. There's not just the one place to play these scales. But I'm playing in the same order, but my start and end point has shifted. Now if we go to the third mode, Phrygian, that we're playing the same order of notes, but now my start and end point has now shifted over to the third note of what was in my C major scale. So it gets shifted over, right? Until you get back to, you know, it's this like cycle. So if you need to rewind and kind of watch that, you know, just to get used to that, then do so. Also, I would recommend checking out my beginner music theory course that explains all of this, and it goes through all the different modes. So essentially, intervals, yeah, the scales, which are going to be like the modes, right? Arpeggios. Arpeggios are very important because they're essentially the notes that make up a chord. And so you're taking for example, okay? If I wanted to play a C major 7 arpeggio, I'm taking what we call the important chord tones being 1, 3, 5, and 7. And so you can use that formula, 1, 3, 5, and 7, and you can use it in any scale. So if I was to take that formula, 1, 3, 5, 7, meaning I'm taking the first note, the third, the fifth, and the seventh. So in C major, C Ionian, I've got that. If I go to D Dorian, I get this. Right? Because my third is a minor third. And my seventh is a minor seventh. Same thing for E Phrygian. F Lydian. G Mixolydian. Right? And so forth. And if you were to play those notes together on a piano, you'll get chords, right? That's what it is. An arpeggio is the individual notes or a broken chord, right? The other important thing that is super important is triads, right? 3-note chords, right? Just using the formula of 1, 3, and 5. So going, right? Simple enough. But we also want to understand the inversions of triads as well, right? Which is just going to be, right? And then we get back to the same thing. But now we're in the next octave. So what did I do? So I played 3 different inversions, right? I played a root position, right, which is 1, 3, 5, and then I went where then, okay, what I did was it got inverted, meaning the root note, the lowest note, now got bumped up the octave. So that means the lowest note is now going to be this major third. So now the order of it is going to be 3, 5, 1. So that's first inversion. All right. Now the second inversion is going to be, you guessed it, if you did, it is 5, 1, 3. So what happened was that major third got bumped up the octave. Right? And then you're probably thinking, okay, well now for a third inversion, that means the fifth gets thrown up the octave? Well, if we do that, we're back to our root position. So essentially, there's just 3 versions of it. We've got a root position, first inversion, and second inversion. And that sounds like, and if you were to put this in this perpetual cycle, it would just be like, right? We've all heard that before. So in terms of a triad, that's what we can do. We take those 3 notes and we can put it in those different inversions. But also, so that's just for a major triad. Right? We can get a minor triad where, it's going to be a minor third. Right? And we can also do the inversions on it as well. Right? So we have major, we have a minor, then there's 2 more triads that you need to know. And so the next one is a augmented triad. And what does that mean? So augmented means is derived from a major point of view. So it uses a major third. But instead of playing this fifth, we're going to raise the fifth up a half step, right? So we're going to turn this pretty major triad, we're going to unpretty it, That's what we're going to do. Which is really cool. And it's very symmetrical. Meaning it's distance, this intervallic distance from each other is symmetrical. If you were to stack them consecutively, they would be stacked in major thirds, right? And so you get that sound, which is really cool. So that's augmented. And a good way to remember what augmented means to raise, right? And in this case, we're raising the fifth from its position. Now, the other triad that's important is the diminished triad, which is the opposite of augmented, right? So what we're going to do is, now this is going to be in a minor context. So we're going to play a minor third, and we're going to play, we're going to play the fifth lowered by a half step. So those are in terms of the triads. So again, some of the important music theory for a beginner, scales, intervals, arpeggios, triads with their different inversions. That's super important. And then you got to get into the rhythm aspect of things. Those are obviously in the melodic sense, right? So understanding different subdivisions, right? So understanding how obviously quarter notes feel, how eighth notes feel, dotted eighth notes connected to a 16th note, things like that. Understanding different time signatures as well, how to feel. Obviously, most of us naturally feel in 4/4 time, but how to feel in 3/4 time as well, right? In terms of something basic like that. I hope that's helpful. It's nice to kind of go on a little tangent about that for a bit, but I hope that's helpful for whoever needed that. But like I said, if you want some more information, you can check out my course that I have available for it. So yeah. Hartvig, how you doing, man? Good to see you. All is good. I hope you're doing good. How do you go about rebuilding chops and stamina after time off? I had 2 weeks where I couldn't play at all and I feel rusty. Oh yeah, no, that's a great question. So a good way is to, if you've had time off, which, look, I recommend everyone at some point, if you've been playing a lot, it is important to take a little bit of time off, all right? It's good to just kind of give your body and mind a break and kind of just do something else for a little bit. Just let your body recharge. And yes, it's going to feel like when you get back to the instrument, oh man, feels a little rusty. Sure. But the muscle memory will be there. So what you got to do is, first of all, you got to be kind to yourself. All right, that's something to start with. But also, you need to just take things slowly. If you just need to have a full kind of playing session of where you just ground yourself with the instrument, just playing. Just getting back into the sound and the feel. Do that for a while of even just kind of sustained long tones, something that's atonal. And then you can get into more kind of exercise, technical things, Then as your fingers start to loosen up, but don't try to rip right into stuff right away, because you could actually hurt yourself, and you don't want to do that. It's good to kind of just ease into things, and play along with music as well. Stuff that is for me, I like to just play along with just uh, tunes where I just play like just some, just some nice kind of time. I just play just grooves, just to kind of where I get to just do that instead of launching into, I see, because I haven't played all day, so I'm like trying to get into that. It's just like, ooh, but hopefully by the end of this live stream, I can kind of launch into it. But it's best to just kind of just take your time, um, and because it's there, it really is. Make sure you drink plenty of water. And also just take breaks as well. Stretch and just loosen up. Take the instrument off as well, and just kind of move around, and then get back into it as well. All right. Um, and especially like, say for example, you took 2 weeks off, and then okay, then you need to kind of get back into playing because you've got like some gigs coming up, you need to practice and share the music. Then just spend the time just building up to that, you know and it'll come back. It really will. Just remember that the music and the ideas are always within you, um, and it's not always just going to be like an instant thing after you've taken some time off. It doesn't work like that. All right, you need to kind of just slowly ease into it. And yeah, Hermosa, I'd be glad to give a little explanation of all the knobs on the MDM bass. Yeah, why not? I can definitely do that. It, the live stream that I did where I where I did that, you can definitely check that out. But I'm also happy to kind of do one right here. Let me just see what else is going on in the chat, and then I can change over the basses, and we can definitely do that. I'd definitely be glad to get into that. And by the way, yeah, a lot of people have found that video very helpful as well, and it's actually convinced a lot of people to buy the bass, which has been really cool too. So yeah, if you've just been joining on, welcome. If you're new to the channel and you've been watching, you've been enjoying what I've been talking about so far, thank you, and don't forget to hit subscribe, and also like it as well. Do the usual thing, right? If anyone has any questions, as what was being going on here, as you could probably see in the chat, anything to do with bass playing, music, please pop it down in the chat. And also like nerdy bass questions, please, any beginner questions, advanced questions, whatever, it's real open to that kind of thing. And this is something I truly enjoy doing. So I'm glad you could be here. Let's see what's going on here. And hey, Ska, nice to see you, as always. Hartvig saying, I found very helpful back when I was learning about modes to learn it really well on one key before trying to transfer it to all other keys when you know the shapes and functions very well. Yeah, exactly. That's that's the thing with music theory. Is this like there's going to be many different ways for you to and quirky ways for you to remember these things, like with modes and definitely on the bass, we can approach it from the point of view of shapes, because you want to be able to transfer that same shape. And that's the cool thing about the bass, is that you can take that same shape more or less and play it in different keys. So if you know the shape, it's really good. But with understanding the shape as well, you want to understand what it sounds like. So that's why, when you go to different keys, you want to know, what does a Lydian sound like in D flat? What does a Lydian sound like in A. Like you want to get used to hearing it because you need to train your ears as well. So if you're learning all these shapes and all that, make sure that you're also letting your ears recognize and connect with what you are playing as well. So because the ear training aspect is it goes hand in hand. It ties together with the stuff because when you are in a live musical context, you have to use your ears. When you're listening out, especially if we're playing improvisational music, you're listening out. You need to understand and be able to recognize when a piano player is playing a Lydian dominant, right, or playing a dominant 7 chord with flat 13 in there. Like things like that. You want to be able to understand. You want your ears to recognize and to identify what it is that you are hearing. That's the thing. But yeah, definitely you can get the shapes going in one key first so that you get it under your fingers, learn the muscle memory, and then you can transfer it over. So whatever works for you, for sure. And what we got here? What is your approach to playing on any songs? Example, 2-note backing track. I can play all the modes, triads, pentatonic, minor. I have them in muscle memory. I don't know what to think when playing. So that's a great question, and I'm glad you asked that. And also welcome, Anifowosi Duke. I apologize. For 4648. No, that's a great question. So it's a matter of like, and I mention this all the time, and I'm always I never get tired of saying this because it's always going to it's always going to be relevant and important. You always want to turn it. How do you turn that information into music? And that's what it is, right? It's like, okay, I've read the dictionary, I've learned all the words, but how do I tell a story? Or how do I write this paper or essay? Right? It's not like that. It doesn't work like that, is what I mean. So let's take a 2-note or a 2-chord backing track. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my loop pedal here. Let's see. Let's do it in F major, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to play F major 7. And I'm going to go to A minor 7, right? So the first thing you want to do, okay, and if you understand and know how to play all this information, then the general thing is that you should also know what it sounds like. And when you start to hear music, even if it's like 2 chords like this, you want to be able to start hearing stuff in your head. And I'm not talking about like, super complicated, lines or whatever. I mean, if you do, great. That's cool, But you want to be able to hear some sort of motif, some sort of theme going on that could work over this, right? And it's not a matter of like, okay, I'm going to play a Lydian over this, or I'm going to play this super locrian. No. The reason you learn all those things, the modes and all that, is because it's language, it's vocabulary. And so that it's internalized so that you have vocabulary to express with, okay? So how am I going to approach playing over these two chords, which obviously is in the key of F major, right? It's diatonic. I'm literally playing the first thing that came to my head, right? And so what I'm doing, I've taken this little theme right here, all right? The first thing that came to my head. And sure, I can analyze, okay, what are the notes that I'm playing in it? Okay, well, I started on a C. And I played C, B, A, G, F, G, A, right? And what I'm doing is I'm superimposing this little theme in different places, right? Rhythmically. I'm not always playing it in the same place. I'm playing it at a different duration as well, right? What I'm doing is I'm taking this theme and I'm trying to develop it or see how I can develop it, right? Maybe I can take out some of the notes. Maybe I can play it backwards instead of going. Maybe I can go. Right? So I can do all kinds of little things like that. And what I've been focusing on is melody. That's what I've been doing, is what is the first thing that naturally came into my head. And sometimes you might come up with something that's kind of cheesy or like, oh, that's kind of lame. But no, you want to get, and that's okay. You want to get used to just the whole art of you hear something and you start singing some sort of melody in your head. And what notes am I using? Where do they come from? I'm just using the notes that are in F major, right? And maybe in this pattern that I was doing, we had a pentatonic kind of vibe to it, right? again, I'm just using notes in, and I'd say I'm using F Lydian, right? So that's how it is. You want to look at it as very simplistic point of view, a very simplistic approach of like, how can I just create a melody, right? And this is the other thing too. It's like, well, how do you like understand how to play melodies? How do you get that? You have to listen to music. All right, always a big thing as a developing musician or any musician. You just gotta listen to music. You gotta listen to music that really captivates you, music that inspires you, music that you listen to and you're like, wow, that's beautiful, that really moves me. I want to be able to channel that kind of thing, right? That's how you can bring the influence into your playing. And pay attention to things like, okay, not just the type of the notes that are being used, but the way that the rhythms are being played in these melodies, the ends of phrases, where the phrase starts, where it ends, right? The duration of things. And even to a point, if you start learning a melody and you're singing along with it, start singing only the rhythm as you listen to it, right? And try to extract that rhythm and put it into your own melodies, right? So that's a big part of my approach into playing over any kind of tune, really, right? And just using your example of like, okay, a 2-chord kind of track. Now, what if I was to then putting that into the context of of a like a jazz tune, right? Let's see. Here's like a real kind of nice jazz standard. Cole Porter, "I Love You," right? The tune "I Love You." So putting it into this context of, instead of the focus trying to show how many licks I can play or like all my, but how can I connect the chord changes in a very meaningful way and tell a story? Doesn't mean that you can't just like shred over it. Sure, you can do that, but if you want to shred over something and really put in some technique and your these lines that you've been developing, these very angular lines, you still need to tell a story with it. Like for me, one of my favorite improvisers of like, especially in terms of like very advanced angular lines kind of improvisation, Alan Holdsworth. To me, I feel the story even with all the incredible stuff that is going on in his playing. I can still feel the journey that's happening, because it's really deep. Same thing with someone like John Coltrane, and then Sonny Rollins, Freddie Hubbard, Lee Morgan, chick career. Like it's that whole thing. The idea behind when improvising and soloing over stuff is, and any kind of playing really, is feeling, it's expression, right? It's you're channeling emotion. That's what it is. So wrong melody. So it's a whole thing of, and this is what will help with, like, in terms of getting that freedom, is that you take an idea and you kind of see like where you can run with it. And also it's a conversation as well, like you want to have breaths and pauses. Let some let some things go by. Double on some notes. Like at one point on most of like the first A section, I just went like I'm just literally playing C, but in 2 octaves, right? But rhythmically, I'm playing it differently, right? Right? Because it works over. Here we'll go from the top of this chorus. How do you do this? You know, I'm taking this rhythm, right? And I'm just having fun with it. You know, I'm just like, okay, how far can I like kind of take this? And that something like that doesn't involve, you know, like you know, it doesn't involve that kind of lines, right? Because you don't have to always just be playing that. Um, you get to do some fun rhythmic stuff as well, and stuff that's kind of quirky, but it's part of the whole the storytelling, you know. Um, you know, hey, thank you, Hermosa. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and also just want to down in the description box as well. Obviously, if you have a look, you can see the links to my different courses as well. But if you want to study with me, take lessons with me, like one-on-one, absolutely, this is what I do. I have, if you just want to do a one-off lesson, just like a quick 30 minutes or 60 minutes, I have that available. But the thing that I love doing the most, I mean, I love doing it all, but the thing that I really enjoy is my bass coaching and mentoring program, which is also one-on-one. And that is essentially helping you with whatever it is that you're trying to work on. So, for example, right here, what we've been working on here, of like, okay, I want to know how to get into the improvisational side of things. How do I start to be free with and have that freedom of expression? How do I take the information that I know, that I've been reading about and that I've been studying and practicing on the instrument, how do I turn that into music? Like, I have a few students where we're doing that, and it's a lot of fun. And it's open to all levels of bass playing, right? It's not just advanced players. If you're a beginner, absolutely, you can join the program. If you're an advanced player, yeah, whatever it is. And you don't have to be just a jazz player. It's anything to do with bass playing. My goal and the thing that I do is I'm your mentor, and I help you and hold you accountable to your goals, but I give you weekly feedback on your playing as well. And it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy helping bassists from all over the world just really discover their full potential. So if that's something that you want to do, please check it out. The links are down below. I'd love to have you in my program. If you're serious, you got a lot of passion, you love the instrument, and you want someone to really just keep track and keep an eye on you, then I recommend you come and study with me. Chicken Dip, what's up? Good morning from New York. Oh man, good morning, New York. Hope you're doing well, man. And that's cool. Yeah, do you feel so much free on the fretboard, or you feel, yeah, and that's the thing, is that you want to have that freedom and that expression to be able to just take it wherever your heart desires, and I'm still working on stuff, I'm still trying stuff out, and I always will be. That's how it is. I'm always developing and evolving and learning stuff myself. I mean, I've been playing the instrument for almost 30 years, but there's still so much more to be done and discovered, right? That's the cool thing about music and art, right? And also just how we figure out how to play this thing, how we figure out the things we do to this instrument, just to play the music that we're hearing, I can hear you are playing some interval, but I'm not sure what it is. You might explain it. You probably, I like to play a lot of fourths. One of the biggest reasons, I mean, a few. McCoy Tyner, great pianist, McCoy Tyner, is a huge influence for me. And he plays a lot of that, and I just love that. Also, the bass is tuned in fourths, and it's just such a cool sound, So that might be one of the intervals you're hearing. The other thing that you might have been hearing is especially over this first 2-5-1 chord, is that I'm playing, obviously, I'm using the flat 9 of the dominant 7 chord. And then resolving it, right? So, yeah, I'll play again. All right. Whoops. So that's that's just. And in terms of like the lines, like the bebop inspired lines that I'm playing and all that, this comes from transcription. This comes from listening to the foundational music, the foundational albums, records, and artists that have set the standard, right? You're not necessarily going to just learn how to kind of do this overnight by just scrolling on Instagram or seeing a bunch of YouTube videos. It doesn't work like that. No, you have to internalize this music. Any kind of music that you want to learn and get good at and be playing properly, you need to you need to obsess over it in a way. I mean, that's what it is. You have to be listening so much. There's so much of it out there that you'll find the ones that really resonate with you, to where you're like, yeah, that's what I want to, I identify with that. That's what I want to sound like. That's what I want to be playing, that kind of thing. And for me, this is years and years of listening, transcribing, and applying it into ensemble settings. So all the jazz, various ensembles that I've been a part of, and I'm still a part of as well, over the course of the last at least 20 plus years, right? And essentially doing this, almost every single day, right? And it's a huge love of mine, right? Even when you're just sitting and listening to records, right? And I recommend that you do that, all right? And don't just listen to stuff on your phone, like on the speakers. Like, put on some headphones, or like if you can get if you have a nice stereo system, nice speakers, like put on some albums, listen all the way through, just sit and just soak it up. That is super important. Have some friends over or whatever and just like listen to records. That's a big part of the whole thing. All kinds of stuff. Listen to the stuff that you love, that resonate with you. So this is, wow, man, the time has gone real fast here. But I appreciate you all hanging out with me, and just if you're wondering what am I using for the backing tracks here, so this is an app developed by one of my favorite guitar players, Jonathan Kreisberg. This is called the Feel Book, and it's real musicians who have recorded in the studio on different tunes, and it's like, I mean, New York cats, and you get to play along, and really just have that kind of nice accompaniment underneath, when you're, and it inspires you to play some things as well, which is really cool. I love it. Hey Lee, nice to see you. I appreciate it. Always having to find something else when your stream ends. Man, you can always just hit start the stream at the beginning, right? And also, if you can also look at the streams, I have a playlist of every single live stream that I've done, here on my channel, so you can see. You can go all the way back to the very first live stream that I did, which was last year in January. So I've done quite and more or less every single week I've been doing a live stream, and probably since a year ago I've been doing them at least twice a week now, which is really cool. I'm going to play over this solo section, because I think, from what I understand, there was some like, giant sports event or something that happened. I mean, I don't know. I'm not actually really a sports person, to be honest. But I'm going to play this tune called Spain, or at least the solo section of it. Because they just added this to the Feel Book. Who they got playing on this? Oh, Sean Wayland is playing piano. And so this is the cool thing about this app, is that it tells you who's playing on each track. So we've got Paul Papa Bear Johnson on bass and Miguel Russell. And so, of course, this is a Chick Corea tune. Of course, and probably after this, I'll do my usual playthrough of Got a Match, because I've been working on that. There's a tune I've been obsessing over lately a lot. But let's play over Spain for a bit, you know? Alright, let's have a go. that's a lot of fun, man. And it'd be if I had my morning coffee, which I'm not gonna do because it's like almost midnight for me. Maybe I'll play it on my on the one later in the week. um, and uh, after having some coffee, that'd be kind of fun to play actually. Um, but tune I'm gonna play right now because I've been shedding it. And for those of you following me on Instagram, on my Instagram stories, every day, well, for the next 30 days, and I'm actually at day 21 right now out of 30, I've been practicing the unison lines in the Chick Corea tune "Gotta Match." It's been a goal of mine to be able to play those, comfortably and at different tempos and all that. And also because I do have a gig coming up where I'm going to be playing "Gotta Match" and we're going to be playing the unison lines. So I want to make sure that I'm good on them, and hopefully the rest of the band is also good on them too. No pressure on them. Which I'm sure they'll be good because they're absolute pros, and they're otherwise they wouldn't be on the gig, right? If I didn't think that they could play it. So I'm gonna play "Gotta Match" shortly, but let's see. The lead saying, "I never listen to this style of music normally, but this bass work is amazing. I can't stop watching." Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for the kind word, Lee. That's really kind of you. Hermosa's, I loved how you played "There is so much oil in the ground" during the last live stream. Oh yeah, that one that is definitely one of the harder ones to play. Currently learning that song, it's very hard. Yeah, it's hard, but go for it, Hermosa. Get that tune. It's a great tune. It's so funky, and I mean, it's just an absolute work of art. Rocco's bass line in that. And again, I'll say this, to anyone who didn't see it on the one of the live streams I did. I think maybe the last one or the one before that. If you want to develop some chops and more stamina, go learn some Tower of Power tunes. Go learn some Rocco Prestia bass lines. Rocco Prestia being the bassist, the bassist in Tower of Power. He was known for being the bassist, is what I'm trying to say, in the band Tower of Power. I'll just say that. Go learn some Tower of Power tunes. And you want to get your 16th note funk kind of stuff kicked into gear. That would definitely help you with that for sure. And Anifo is saying, "I feel so jealous of that 6-string bass. My 4-string bass is looking at me with a side eye right now." Hey, I've got all my 4 strings over here. They're also looking at me with a side eye. But I do, right now I've been playing this bass a lot lately, just because I've been, I have quite a nice connection with this instrument, but I also play all my other basses as well, the ones behind me, and some of my 4 strings as well. I enjoy playing. I've been spending a lot of time with this bass just because a lot of the gigs that I've been playing recently, including some of my own that I have coming up, will be on this bass. So I'm really just doing my thing on this instrument. But it's and it's such an enjoyable instrument to play as well. It's feeling really good. I had some work done on it, and actually for a while, probably for 2 months, almost 2 months, it was actually out of commission, because I had to, one of the truss rod barrels, it has 2 truss rods, but one of the truss rod barrels, the thing actually cracked. The adjuster screw on it actually cracked, and it's not. It's a very proprietary part. It's not something you can just go to the hardware store and be like, oh yeah, I can match it up. Oh yeah, that's about the same. You know, it's not like that. I actually had to get a machine shop to make make one for me, and I had them make like a bunch of them for me, and just so that I have them, you know, and hopefully I don't ever have to use them. But you know, better safe than sorry, right? So that's how it is. Chuck Beasy, what's up? Nice to see you, man. Good morning, nights, yeah. You know, let's see. I make do with 5 strings. That's big enough beast for me to handle. I'm too messy a player to mute a 6 string. Oh, you know, it's you just gotta spend some time with it, Lee. You know, get a 6 string, and just like with any instrument, even if for those who have been mainly playing 4 string and they want to transition to a 5, they've never played a 5. Just like with anything, yeah, you gotta spend time with it. And for some people, it happens right away. Sometimes, you know, you might need like, you know, a few weeks, you know, 2 weeks max, really. You know, a new instrument, if you do it every day, you get used to it. So I think you'd be fine, Lee, you know, on a 6 string. Just gotta have one for a while and just spend some time on it. Yeah, you'll be good. You know, I have faith in you. I have faith in any of you, right? That's how it is. All right, let's play this beast. I'm not gonna look at the fingerboard.
That's quite a challenge trying to do that. Not looking. Sure, there was a few reference glances, just to make sure I'm starting on the wrong note. Yeah, why not, right? But in terms of like, ah, so that's. Yeah, no, that's kind of hard. The fastest version I found of that was this one. Where is it? It was from like 2003, I think. It was Electric Band, obviously. It wasn't Patitucci on bass. It was actually Patitucci wasn't playing on this one because I think he was out playing with Wayne Shorter. Because there was a period of time where Patitucci wasn't playing. This was like in the early 2000s or parts of in the 2000s. And so Mike Pope, he played. Rick Fiorabracci played. Who else? I think later on Victor Wooten played. I actually did. The only time I got to see Electric Band, it was back in 2017. I was playing at the North Sea Jazz Festival with John Beasley and the Monkestra, and Electric Band were there. Chick was playing there, but they didn't have Patitucci. It was actually Nathan East playing, and he did a great job. Obviously, I would have loved to have seen Patitucci because that's the OG. But Nathan East did an incredible job. It's not easy music to play. It really isn't. And I remember actually, I bumped into him in the lobby the day before. And he's like, "Oh man, yeah, I gotta go upstairs. I gotta shed this music, man." So he shared it because he played the gig. He wasn't looking at any charts or anything, and he's a really good reader.
but he played all those lines and everything, and took solos, and he played six string the whole show as well, which was really cool. But anyway, here I'm gonna play along to the fastest version I found of Got a Match, but I'm gonna just go from the unison lines, because it's incredible. So. Try it again. I got the volume is pretty high. Dave Weckl going crazy. Alright, here's the cue. One more time, because it's fun. Screwed up the beginning. Anyway, you get the idea. That's probably the best I can get it tonight. Yeah, it's that's probably, but that's the fastest version that I've found of that, where they play that line. There is, however, and I'm just going to kind of nerd out. I know I got to go shortly, or I should have been gone, and I will, but I just wanted, there was a version that Patitucci played in the late 80s. The performance that he did at MI. The full thing is actually here on YouTube. And in the band he has Frank Gambale, he's got Tom Breckline, and Pat Coyle, great pianist. and they play Got a Match, and he plays it real fast. It's pretty funny. Let me just find it. It's just like, yeah, it sounds like it. Okay. You know, they just go for it. They play it so fast, it's hilarious, you know. Yeah, see, I can't even do it now. I'm like tired. But anyway, folks. Oh man, Scrabble Bees, what's up? Nice to see you on here. And yes, Chuck, I am familiar with Anthony's playing, yes, on Interspirit. That is definitely one of the just ridiculous bass lines, absolutely. And that's the thing. Anthony Jackson, he would have also this is the thing that a lot of people underestimate with Anthony, is that obviously someone who had such an incredible, like, just grounding and just like this someone who could make something in the simplest form just sound so epic. He would absolutely be able to crush Got a Match, playing those melodies and all that. Because he obviously playing all that stuff with like Michelle Camilo, and then with the stuff with Yorgos Farkanis, and even some of the the 70s fusion with when he was playing with Lee Ritenour as well. They would be playing some stuff. They had a band called Gentle Thoughts. It was with like Patrice Rushen and like Ernie Watts, Harvey Mason. It was an incredible band, and they would be playing some ridiculous stuff like unison lines and all that. And Anthony would just be absolutely crushing it. So, but yeah. Anyway, folks, I gotta bounce, but thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, description box, check out my courses, and if you want to take a lesson with me or join my bass coaching and mentoring program, please check that out. Would love to have you and to work with you on your bass playing. Whatever I can do to help you, with your bass playing. This is what Bass with Benjamin is all about. So again, thank you so much. Thanks for the hang. Really cool to just nerd out with you all. Wherever you are in the world, take care. All right. Be safe out there. Enjoy playing the music. I will be back at the end of the week for my usual live stream, and usually I have like a cup of coffee as well, that strong coffee that makes things very interesting, but it's always a lot of fun. So we'll do it again. All right, take care, folks. Good to see you all. I'll see you again. All right, peace.